Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are watching from today. We have another development amid fears of a possible war or military strike on Iran. President Trump made some, let's just say, interesting comments that I think you guys are all going to want to hear. Before we get into that and much more, please, as always, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps get the message out there. And comment with your thoughts. I want to hear your comments below about whether or not you think we should hit Iran or if you think we should not bomb Iran's nuclear facilities. Now, let's roll into the topic. So as we've discussed at length on this channel in many videos, the United States is posturing in a position to possibly strike the facilities where Iran is developing its nuclear weapons program. Why can Iran not have a nuke? It's pretty simple. Number one, you cannot trust them as far as you can throw them. Number two, it would absolutely spark a massive arms race in the region, which the United States and our allies are hoping to avoid. If Iran gets a nuke, Saudi Arabia gets a nuke, Egypt gets a nuke, Jordan gets a nuke, everything you know, or everyone's going to have nukes eventually. It's not going to be a situation you want to find yourself in. So the United States has made it clear there are two paths forward. There's the path of diplomacy, which the Trump administration has been pushing for, including direct talks with the Iranian regime. And there's option two if diplomacy fails, which is they can bomb the Iranian facilities. We have already stationed B-2 stealth bombers at Diego Garcia, which is what is referred to as the unsinkable aircraft carrier, and it is out of range of Iran's striking capabilities. We would be able to launch B-2 stealth bombers from there that would then fly deep into Iranian territory, escorted most likely by F-22s and F-35s, as well as F-18s with jamming technology to take out early warning systems, surface-to-air missiles, and any planes the Iranians might be stupid enough to put in the air. However, President Trump addressed this situation in the Oval Office Wednesday and made an interesting comment about the role Israel might play in a potential attack against Iran. Let's go ahead and roll those comments right now.
But with Iran, if it requires military, we're going to have military. Israel will obviously be very much involved in that. He'll be the leader of that. But nobody leads us. We do what we want to do.
So right there, you witnessed President Trump saying that Israel is essentially going to take the lead on any potential attack on Iran, which is something the Israelis have wanted to do going back years and years and years. It's essentially one of Bibi Netanyahu's major goals. But then he says, nobody tells us what to do. We're going to do what we want to do. I want to take a moment and debunk, dispel some of the narratives you hear about this. And we've talked about this on this channel before, but it's critically important. We're all on the same page and we all understand what's going on here. Let me state in as clear a terms possible, so there is no confusion for anyone watching, Israel does not have the capabilities to take out Iran's nuclear facilities. It does not. They might claim that they could. Now, Israel has nuclear weapons of their own, and they, in theory, could nuke Iran and try to get under the underground bunkers that way. But now you're talking about a nuclear power using nuclear weapons against a non-nuclear actor, which has, since World War II, when we dropped the atomic bombs on Japan, they've never been used since. And that would be crossing a red line that the international community would almost certainly not stand for. And furthermore, it would set a terrible precedent that would then allow other countries with those weapons to use them, justifying that. So we have to assume that Israel is not going to use its nukes to attack Iran. That means that Israel does not have the means or close to it to hit Iran's facilities. This is a fact. It might be an uncomfortable fact for some people. It might be a fact people do not like, but it is a fact nonetheless. The bomb that must be used to hit their facilities is the GBU-57. The GBU-57, as I've said before, is a 30,000-pound bomb. It can be carried by a B-2 stealth bomber, which is why the B-2 stealth bombers are in Diego Garcia. It can carry two bombs at a time, so 60,000 pounds worth of bombs in the bomb bay, two of them. We have, I believe, 9 B-2s. So 2 times 9, my quick math skills, University of Wisconsin tells me that's 18 bombs. That's 18 30,000-pound bunker busters that only we can carry. Israel has F-35s, F-15s, other fighter aircraft. Those planes are solid. The F-35 is an incredible stealth platform. It cannot carry the GBU-57 or any weapon even close to being able to destroy deep underground facilities hidden under mountains. Again, these are facts. You might not like them, but they are facts nonetheless. Furthermore, I've seen some people speculate online that the United States should just give Israel a couple B-2s and let them do it. This has to be one of the stupidest things I have ever heard in recent memory. The United States guards our stealth technology among our nation's most secured secrets. It's why we don't export the B-2 to anybody. It's why we don't export the F-22 to anybody. And it's why when we do export the F-35, they have degraded versions of the planes, slightly less capable planes, because we don't want even our allies to get a full look under the hood of American stealth capabilities. So let's be quite clear here. The only country on the planet that can hit the facilities and take them out is the United States of America. I heard that comment from Trump and got quite confused, because does he mean that F-35s from Israel are going to be flying escort for our B-2s? I also find that very hard to believe. We have the best pilots in the world. We have the most advanced planes in the world. There is no reason we would ever let a different nation get in on that action and escort our bombers anywhere. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, maybe that's just Trump speaking. He's just riffing. But the fact of the matter is that Israel's not taking the lead on anything when it comes to an attack on Iran's facilities, for the simple reason they do not have the tools necessary to get it done. That's the fact. That is as simple and dry cut as it gets. Only we do. And that begs the question again of whether or not we even should do it. And we'll get into that right now. Debate continues to rage over whether or not the United States should actually do this or not. And whenever we talk about this topic, it's important that we talk about it with our eyes wide open, a clear mind, and we understand what we're getting into. Whether or not you support the attack, you think the attack's a bad idea, what you have to understand is it comes with significant risks that I brought up the other day. It might not be a nice thing to say, people might disagree with it, but diplomacy is what we should always hope for before we start a regional conflict or a massive military strike. If we can disarm the Iranians without having to fly 9 B-2 stealth bombers into Iranian airspace, that is obviously a preferable outcome. And anyone who's warmongering and pushing fear and pushing the idea that we have to hit them, we got to go right now, that's how you find yourself in a quagmire. At the same time, we can also be clear that the United States obviously has the power to take out Iran, unlike what we just talked about in the previous segment of how we're the only country that can do it. And Trump's comment about Israel doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, to be quite honest with you. If we fly those B-2 stealth bombers in there, we hit them, we clean up the targets on the ground, we decimate whatever they have. We also can't just hit the facilities. We then have to start targeting their rocket force. Why do we have to target their rocket force? Because if we leave their rocket force untouched, where do you think those missiles are going next? They're going to get aimed at every one of our locations in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel, and so on and so on. And then those countries will absolutely feel the need to retaliate. And then at that point, what do you have? You have a massive regional conflict. And it's okay to say that out loud. You shouldn't be scared to talk about the upsides and downsides of anything. Just simply cheerleading for a war is not smart. We can recognize that the United States of America has the military capability to do something, which we absolutely do. And we can also recognize at the same time that we shouldn't just blindly follow any movement that wants military action. It's not patriotism to just hear a politician say something and then do it unquestioned. Patriotism is questioning, looking for the facts, looking out for your country, looking out for your people. And is this in our best interest? Is bombing Iran right now in our best interest? I can't answer that, but I want to hear your comments below. Let me know in the comments if you want to see the United States bomb Iran, or if you think we should push for diplomacy. I'll be excited to read everything you write. I always read your comments. And that's where it's at. I don't believe for 1 second Israel will play any role whatsoever in a large-scale attack carried out by the U.S. because it wouldn't be necessary. If anything, it would just slow our guys down. That's the fact of the matter. 2, I'm still not convinced we're actually even going to bomb Iran. I think diplomacy is probably going to win out. Again, things can change. Trump seems to want diplomacy to win out. And 3, is this in our best national interest to do it? And that's a tough conversation. And people are going to have a long, hard look in the mirror before they make that decision. But that's where it's at. Comment with what you think below. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.